Happy Sunday. All right, so now that we've gotten our power back, we were without power for like almost 5 days. Lovely California. I mean, I do love California, but man, if PG&E, which is our power company, was any other company, heads would have rolled, man. CEOs would have been gone. Anyway, it was out of their control. Mother Nature took down several giant redwoods. These were really old, big, hawking redwood trees. Mother Nature said, you ain't nothing. Anyway, back to the Newman motor here. When I first built this guy, I had plans to build other rotors to test in here. And that's what I'm doing here. I've got two ends here that I got to keep far away from each other. Each one of these ends has 4 disc magnets. It's pretty heavy. And here's the rotor um, shaft, if you will. And one will go there, one will go there. And then my plan was always to be able to just slide one rotor shaft, metal rotor or stainless steel rotor shaft out and slide another one in with a different set of rotors or a different rotor build. Sorry. Over there yapping and not figuring out where to point this thing. So yeah, these have 4 fairly large N52 disc magnets in there. And they're pressed fit in there. So this clear cap here is mainly for show and to stop the commenters from going, those are going to fly out. Because in order to do this right, I made this housing more than my normal 2 millimeter or 2/10 of a millimeter either way. I think I did it in 4. So the press fit was real, was really tight. But I have it in there. I have the cap. Oh, there it goes. I have the cap on there just in case. Yeah, these are really strong. And I got that beast in there. And that did fly apart when I first did it. Anyway, let me get it together. I have to ream out the hole for the shaft. And I bought myself a set of reamers, which are different than drills, I can get the hole fairly close and then ream it out to the exact size. And that'll work pretty well with PLA versus trying to just print it solid and drill out a hole. That doesn't work unless you print it at 100% infill, and even then it doesn't really work. So, and these are really tight too. This will be a press fit, although I probably will use some magnets. Love them. Use some acrylic number 16. Here is my commutator arm that'll sit up against the commutator, and here is my commutator design. I copied it from somebody else. So basically I've got, focus you, see if you can see it. There are cutouts, 3 cutouts all the way around on the inside and the outside. And I can run a thick wire that'll come around and go in, and then that'll go on the end here. And of course the wire will contact the shaft. On the other side, I'll probably use my bearing roller. I took a bearing and I soaked it in acetone to get all the oils out, and I can use that as a rotating connector. Anyway, let me get it going. I got to move these magnets apart, man, or I'm going to get hurt. I know I am, because those are pretty powerful. Nice and heavy too. It's going to make for an interesting, and I don't know if I made that deep enough. It's going to make for an interesting, yeah, now that I'm thinking about it, I should have made it deeper and drilled and had a couple of holes there where I could put a pin through there. I still might be able to do that. I don't know. We'll try it. I got my cap here. Like this is really going to protect me from anything. Anyway, stay tuned. So just if you were confused, that's how the commutator is going to work. Didn't realize it was going to be that noisy. Yeah, something like that. So I got that puppy glued up. Sorry for the wicked spin around of the camera, but yeah, I gotta let that sit for a while. Probably a couple of hours should be good. It says 24 hours, but I've used it. But I still have to figure out if I'm going to drill a hole in the side and put a pin in there. Let me think about it. Stay tuned. Really quick, not 3D printing magnet motor stuff, but my son is into D&D, and I'm printing on the little figurines. I forget what this one is called, but on the super high settings, super fine, it comes out great. Yeah, here's the quality on. It's really hard to see because it's shiny red, and this is really small. So this is 0.12 ultra fine. Came out really good. Of course, it's from the ender. So I decided to print out another, what I'm calling the bearing housing. This one came out really cool. I printed it in clear PLA, and it came out with that really cool hex pattern. But here is the new rotor. It's crazy I can get this one. Anyway, that's the new rotor. And so the reason why I printed another one of these is so I can put that rotor on here and then just drop it in there. I could just take that rotor out. I don't have to slide things out of the shaft or anything like that. You know what I mean? Makes it a little bit easier to swap things out, which was the whole intent of this beast, was to be able to try out different rotors. Yeah. So I did some preliminary testing. I'm making some commutators. I made some out of clear PLA using paper clips as the contact, and it works really well. I don't know if I could show you really quick. I've got a paper clip for the positive, or let's see if I can get this thing going. Come on. Trying to do this one-handed. I can't get it going right now because I have to set it up properly, and I'm trying to do it one day. Anyway, I had it going really good, but I'm going to print out. So this works really well with the paper clips, but I want to use the thin copper sheeting that I have. So I printed out a newer design. Instead of having these little indents in here, there's going to be some flat spots. And I realized I tried doing it with like 5 or 6, and it works okay, but it works best with just one contact on it. That's where I get the most speed, and I think I get the most action. Yeah, and I want to see what I can get going here. This whole weekend's been a wash because we lost power. Just getting everything back together again. We lost power, but I got the old trusty, come on, the old trusty Makita generator. Worked out really well. This thing's got a lot of oomph. Yeah, it worked good. Kept my refrigerator running, the whole 9 yards. Thank you, brother-in-law. Anyway, back to the project at hand. Yeah, so I made another one of these. I'm probably going to print a couple more because, again, I want to be able to do multiple rotors. The only problem is I don't have enough of these stainless steel shafts. But it didn't never stopped me before. Stay tuned. All right, so that's what the commutator is going to look like. Obviously, I'm not going to use this, but 12.5 volts. It's kind of like that, but just on one side. And it works great. Of course, it's not tuned, and I'm holding it with a alligator clip. Ow. And of course, I'm not going to have this on there like that. But yeah. And I'm going to turn it into a generator too. I have to get the wiring right for that. Yeah, so it's basically a 3D printed cylinder with copper on one side, and then the copper goes down into the middle there. Oops. Goes down to the middle and touches against the pole here, or against the rod. I'd like to put it on a little bit more too. It's a little too tight right now. But that's going to be it for this week, unfortunately. Like I said, because of the no power situation, and we may end up getting that again. We're getting another major storm, and that's going to suck. Oops. Anyway, yeah, that's it for this week, guys. Wait, hold on. Stay tuned. I'll get one more little Zen thing going. That's a nice little commutator. And that's the old rotor. I got to hook up the new one, which is right down there. But yeah, it's working good. And this will be the commutator arm right here. So it'll have another pad. It'll have another copper pad on there with the wire going to it. So it'll be something like this, but obviously not with the alligator clip, with just, I think I got to raise it up a little bit more though. Anyway, see you next week. Ciao. Yeah, that's what it's going to look like, and it's going to be a generator too. But obviously, like I said, it's going to be a little bit more spit and polished. Anyway, now I'll see you next week. Ciao.